Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Salutations to Bhagavan Ramakrishna. Today, on this Labor Day, the day we appreciate and honor labor and laborers, every year, as it has been customary with us, we read the whole Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Part of it was read by all the devotees all over the country and the world, and some part of it was read by the members here. I remember one time a Swami speaking about one of the presidents of the order. He's saying, when he first read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it was a spiritual experience. And the rest of his life was nothing but an unfoldment of that spiritual experience. It became deeper, it became vaster, it became profound, and it became part of him. And that Swami spread that gospel. As the first line says, Tava katamritam tapta jivanam. Thy ambrosial words alleviate our scorched lives. And that is what this gospel does. This gospel has a power. The whole of Sri Ramakrishna's experiences, as it were, are in a seed form. And when we read that gospel, we imbibe those seeds. And it is our duty, in order to unfold, to make that seed of spirituality sprout, we need to constantly read, keep on reading and reading and reading. There's nothing else to be done. And that destroys, as a kalmashapaham, is the destroyer of all sin. So we get the seed from Sri Ramakrishna in his gospel. And one of the meanings of the word gospel is truth. And we imbibe that, and we constantly, on reading and reading, we help germinate that seed. And it becomes a mighty plant. And this is that mighty plant and growing into a massive tree that's giving shade to millions and millions of souls scorched by the doubts and the, you can say, skepticism. Does God exist? As long as there is doubt, there will be skepticism. There will be always the question, does God exist? When doubt and skepticism leave us, we see that this God that has been spoken of by Sri Ramakrishna is a palpable reality. It is no longer a book now. It is a part of your spiritual experience. And you will grow and grow and grow. And this is what the regular reading of the gospel does. We today, in a symbolic way, we've read this book, this gospel, the scripture of the age, in a way to encourage you all to read a part of it every day. Make it a part of your lives, and then you find yourself one day in the gospel. That's a unique, you can say, experience of many people who have been devotedly reading the gospel. I also remember a great Swami who was more like a mentor to me. He was a great Pandit and in all the six systems of philosophy. And towards the end of his life, he had kept all his books aside and he only devoted himself to reading the gospel. And we were young, we used to question him, what happened, Swami? What happened? We were always attracted to your great learning. Well, oh, all this thing is now there in the gospel. And that was a big eye opener to us. We tend to relegate the gospel as just a kind of on the fringe of scriptures and spiritual life and everything. No, that is the core of religious and spiritual life and scripture for the sage. And Swami Vivekananda said, if you have to understand the scriptures, if you have to understand spirituality, you have to do it through Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings. And this is actually the springboard that will launch us into higher and higher aspects within us. So this is a profound book. And as we keep on reading, the scriptures give us an illustration of sandal paste. When you take a sandalwood and keep on rubbing it, the first contact with the water gives off a kind of a, not a happy aroma. But as you keep on rubbing it and rubbing it and rubbing it, and slowly that sweet smell, that sweet aroma of sandalwood comes out. That is what happens with the scripture called the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. As Sri Ramakrishna is the world teacher for this age, we find him not contradicting any other past religions or prophets or teachers. Everything, as it were, is merged in this one book. Today, the world needs this more than ever because the whole gamut of religious and spiritual life is laid down before us. Take up one idea, take up one aspect, and plunge in, and you will find yourself emerging into the whole. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, you get, yeah.
So we are happy that we could read collectively, all the devotees, even at this time, staying back in your home and getting a touch of the deep spirituality what Sri Ramakrishna stands for by reading the pages. So I pray to Sri Ramakrishna for his blessings to shower upon us, to give us more insight and more devotion, more knowledge, so that we can separate out the momentary from the eternal and then dive into the truth itself and make our life blessed. And blessed be the society, blessed be the world. We are in need of such universal spiritual ideal before us. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all for participating.